Find out now because the green flag has been waved, so let's go once again then as all the riders look towards the gantry which illuminates reds once again, and away we go. Oh, Robert Charles a little bit quick away there, he might get pinged for that, we'll have to wait and see. Broderick is off though, again quicker than Lee Wells, so he gets himself into the lead of the race. It's going to work this time surely, or is Lee Wells going to fight? Yes he does, it goes through to the inside, so Lee Wells was a little bit behind there on the run towards Ritchie's, but he's managed to claw it back and goes into the lead with Broderick Whitmore-Wilson sitting there in second position. Who's charged up to third place? Is it James Alderson once again? Looks like his colours, yeah, kind of white and black there in third place, and Jamie Cornfield might have made another good start as well. No, he hasn't, he's not quite as high up as he was on the original start, but Lee Wells does lead. Second is Broderick, he's under pressure though. In fact, Jamie has made a good start, he's there in third place and challenging for second. He's under attack though from Robert Childs on the run down in towards Agostini. The red machine, the Yamaha, goes through. Does it run wide on the exit of the corner? Nope, he manages to hold it. So third for Robert Childs, second is going to be the bike of Broderick Whitmore-Wilson. You've got fourth place Jamie Cornfield, and it's Jamie Alderson who had initially a good start in race, or the first restart, the original start. He's now down into where is he, sixth place possibly, maybe a little bit more lower down than that, but he's struggling at the minute, so he's got time to try and work his way back through. This is the longest circuit we go to on the calendar, 3 miles in length. That time this morning was, or yesterday was 1:59.4, so Lee Wells will be trying to break that one again as he heads his way down the back straight for the first time. And they'll hit the anchors as hard as they possibly can and flick left, flick right, Brundle Nelson, and then go down in towards the final couple of corners to complete lap number 1, which has pretty much almost been now safely negotiated by everyone. No yellow flags out there on the circuit, so that's good. So here comes our race leader, building the gap massively at the minute, already on this first lap out to nearing 2 seconds I'd say, as they work their way down towards Murray's. Robert Charles there in second now, so he's got the job done on second place man Broderick Whitmore-Wilson. So now he's going to try and charge onto the back of Lee Wells, who completes the first lap on bike number 70. Second place then for number 85 is Robert Childs, and third place will be that of Broderick Whitmore-Wilson. They are your 3 Pirelli Superseries runners, and then it's the club runner of Jamie Cornfield, bike number 56, which sits in fourth place. Fifth place is 777 Owen Richardson, then followed by 132, which is James Skeldin. Seventh place for number 49 Mike McLean. Eighth place number 19 James Alderson. So James has actually slipped down 5 places there, hasn't he, from where he started on the front row. So not a good start this time for James. He's got behind him 461, which is Ross Walker, and Scott Stevens rounds out the top 10 at the end of that first lap of this 5-lap encounter. Robert Childs has managed to break away then from the 2 behind, so the new second place man trying to close in on Lee Wells, who at the minute is 2.2 seconds ahead of the pack, so that's a very good first lap gap. Down they go through Hamilton. Jamie Cornfield not quite with the third place man. If he was closer he could have made a little bit of a charge in towards Oggies. Then behind that now James Alderson trying to work his way through. He's there in, I think, maybe up into 7th place now. Let's have a look and have a gander at where he is. I think he might be 7th, so we'll get confirmation possibly through sector 1. We have the sector times on screen, so we can kind of judge what's happening. Good first sector for Lee Wells, quickest of anyone so far, and James Alderson has gone through on Mike McLean. So that move was done at the start of this lap. So they're working their way down through the old S's, whereas Lee Wells already down towards Coram once again. So lap 2's be ticked off. Robert Charles has not made any inroads, and to be fair, the ones behind Robert Charles are now starting to make ground on him. So it's going to be a concertina effect for second place. Charles being caught by Whitmore-Wilson in turn, who's got Jamie Cornfield to deal with as well. So those 3 bikes together for second, third and fourth. 3 bikes for 2 places on the podium. One of them's going to be very unlucky, unfortunately, but through they go. Wells now leads by 3.6 seconds at the end of that one, and the fastest lap of the race has gone to Lee on 2:178. So at the minute it's about 0.7 of a second off what the pace he set yesterday, and it's all important to get the quickest lap because that will then set the grid for the third and final race of the weekend for them. Sorry, this is Pirelli Superseries, which now, in fact, last year had the 3 races. They'll now have 4, won't they? So yes, a change of format. Getting confused with the Pirelli Superseries last year, but the grid will still be determined by the fastest lap. But they'll have 4 races rather than the 3. So Lee Wells at the minute on provisional pole for race number 3. Charles went through there in second still, third Whitmore Wilson and fourth Cornfield. Richardson was fifth, sixth place now for Alderson, so he made up, just the one, didn't he, on Mike McLean. And he sits ahead of James Skeldin. There's been a change for 9th because Scott Stevens on bike number 1 has come through, and that means Ross Walker drops down into what's going to be 10th position. Switch around between those two at the minute. Leaders onto the back straight once more as the continuing battles evolve a little bit lower down the field. There's a good one there going on for what seems to be not. I think that is the fight for 9th place, isn't it? Working its way through Williams now. There's about 8 or 9 riders altogether, separated by just a couple of seconds. That's an intense fight between them at the minute, so we'll keep an eye on that one as Lee Wells now comes back towards the end of this lap. And third place man, watch out for him, Broderick Whitmore Wilson, now right with Robert Childs, and he's done the best of anyone in sector 1. And look at this for a swooping move. Can he go right around the outside at Corn? That'll be a brave thing to do, but Broderick not quite late enough on the brakes to get down the inside at Murray's, but you might have the charge in a straight line. Let's have a look then as they power through to complete lap number 3. He's not quite there, is he, at the minute? The gap is coming down and down though between those two. Charles to Whitmore Wilson is now 0.3 of a second, and Whitmore Wilson couldn't quite string the final sector together to do the fastest lap, but he was with his personal best a 2:09.03, so that's good stuff from Broderick Whitmore Wilson, and very positive heading into the closing stages of this race. Jamie Cornfield runs slightly wide at Wilson, which just loses a bike length or so to the dueling two ahead of him. On his own, almost in 5th place now, is James Alderson, because he's made the move on Owen Richardson, which means he'll start to pull away. I don't think I have any chance of catching those ahead. He's 5.3 seconds behind is James Alderson on bike number 19, so I think time will just run out before he gets there, unfortunately, after that slow start for whatever reason. But good progress being made back up inside the top 5. In terms of the pre-injection, just to update you on that one, it is once again the leader of that class being number 83 in David Kirby, ahead of Matthew Jemmett this time, and Dan Marty in 3rd position on bike number 26. So the pre-injection class looks. Battling for 23rd place on backwards. Lee Wells heading through once again then in towards Coram. He's got a 4-second buffer over Robert Charles, but will it be Robert Charles to come to the line in 2nd place this time through? Well, no one's improved their sector time, so that would mean the gap has probably stayed about the same, which is true. This is a strong corner though, as we know, for Broderick, who gets right on the rear wheel of Robert Childs, but can't quite make the move happen, can he? He's pressurising very, very hard indeed, and all this I'm sure is going to maybe play into the hands of Jamie Cornfield, probably just sitting there rubbing his hands together and just waiting for something to unfold in front of him so he can pick up the pieces. But for now they continue in 2nd and 3rd places, and they turn their way in towards Ritchie's for what will be the last time, because the last lap flag has now gone out. So one more tour this morning of the 3-mile circuit for this class. Alderson has pulled away from Owen Richardson, but he's not catching the 4 bikes ahead of him. So yeah, James Alderson will be pretty comfortable in what's going to be 5th place. Richardson, Mike McLean, James Skeldin, Liam Duffett and Scott Stevens are all the ones that remain inside the top 10 places. And Scott Stevens is having a good race here to defend. He's got a load of guys behind him and they're all attacking to try and get through, but Scott Stevens is standing his ground there in 10th position. Down towards Oggies goes this fight for 2nd place then, still between Robert Childs and Broderick Whitmore Wilson. Robert was on the podium yesterday. He started this one from down in 4th position, so he's made up a couple already. Jamie Cornfield now just been dropped slightly from that leading pack. He's down there in 4th position. He's in a different class, of course, but it's not difference in terms of power, it's just difference in terms of normally your ability. Pirelli's a little bit higher up than the club, so you'd expect the Pirellis to be towards the front, and the clubs then mustered in somewhere around them, but still, this is a very impressive ride from Jamie. Just like yesterday, he was off the podium in that race, he's off the podium at the minute, but if he can keep improving, we know he's got the strength and the ability to do so. He could be there towards the end of the day, and Broderick's looking for the move for second place, which is going to get done this time at Murray's. It's worked for him very nicely indeed. He got the run through Coram as we expected, but can now he hold it to the line? It's going to be a drag race between the two of them. Lee Wells is going to come through for his second win of the day. It's going to be a photo finish once again, but Robert Charles just holds it on the outside line, and he squeezes back past Broderick Whitmore Wilson on the run to the checker flag, and that was a cracking end once again between those two. But Charles had it by 50 thousandths of a second. That's how close it was. We've had a closer finish than that, or a closer finish than that already this weekend, so it's another great moment between those two. And funny enough, on that last lap, Broderick Whitmore Wilson did the quickest lap of anyone, a 1:59.542, which doesn't quite surpass Lee Wells' time from yesterday, but it was the quickest lap of that one. And actually, Lee Wells in that race did not get below 2 minute mark. He stayed out of it, but Broderick did, and so did Robert Childs on that last lap. He did a 1:59.7, but a cracking finish there to that one between second and third. But it is Lee Wells for his second victory of the weekend. He wins by 2.4 seconds. Second place goes the way of just Robert Child on bike number 85, and third place enters the way of 193, which is Broderick Whitmore Wilson. Fourth place sees number 56 Jamie Cornfield, and the first of the club competitors home. Then fifth place number 19 was James Alderson. Sixth place went the way of number 777 Owen Richardson.